Hello and welcome to a brand new product launch. Oh my goodness, I am so excited. I honestly have not fallen in love with the range as much as this one since I launched my very first collection. The reason being that it has been inspired by so many things that are really close to my heart. For example, the woods that we're in today, which is literally just a couple of minutes walk away from my house, and my favourite ever story, Folk and the Faraway Tree. So without further ado, can I show you these gorgeous designs?
This is the first stamp, Whimsical Woods. And there it is on the acetate. Now I'll just show you the drawing behind this. So this is, I sat and drew this based on a tree that I saw out in Reelig Forest, and I just sat with my daughter and did this sketch here, and I called it Woodland Whimsy. You can see I even write notes of what I'm going to call the stamp. So this was what I did, and I completely fell in love with it. And once I started drawing this, I just kept drawing more like it, and I really wanted to turn it into a stamp. But I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if it was too detailed. I wasn't sure if you would like it. I'm really hoping you love it. Anyway, I shared it with the lovely Louise Sims when we were doing a workshop, and then she suggested that we could split it. So in the original, it goes like this. But I have divided it so that you have more use. So you can stamp all out so that we still have this bit here, and that we have the swirl there, and that you've got the swing, you've got, and the little light coming from there. You have the ability to do all of that, but you also have the ability to create an awful lot more. So I've just briefly, this isn't finished, but I've kind of briefly stamped this up and done a night scene. I've still to add the details to this one. But you can see, you know, you can make it look lots of different ways and give it different feels. You can have a nice airy, foresty, woodland nymph sort of style, but you can also kind of go dark and eerie. So as I said, I started drawing this, and then I just didn't stop drawing. So I drew a couple of different houses. So we had this one, and then I think a sneak peek of more coming. This one here. So I drew those. So that was the next stamp set. So, oh, I forgot to show you the sentiments. So this one here says, there is wisdom in the woods if you walk slow enough to hear it. So that's the sentiment on that one. So then this one is woodland dwellings, and it says, a sprinkle of stardust, a dash of dew, and a forest full of wishes for you. And we also have a new home. So again, we've got the mushroom house, and then we've got this sort of quirky fairy house. We've got this little bit that you can build up. So you can take all of these scenes and build a really huge woodland fairyland scene, which I'm desperate to do. But these are kind of the building blocks for it. And we've got the little light. So we have that one there. Then we have this one, which was here. So this one was based on the Folk and the Faraway Tree. I sort of just imagine, you know, the wisha wisha noise, and you could actually paint it so that you had blue kind of coming down there for the you know, the water with where the washerwoman puts her water down. So this one I've pretty much kept similar, but again I've pulled it apart a little bit. I have taken away this and made that a separate stamp, so you can have it just the tree, or you can build it with the scene. But as I said, you could put your other mushroom houses there and really build it up really big. We could have lots going on. Same here, we've got the little lights, which are a separate stamp, and then these little butterflies and things. They're just sort of tiny little accents. And we've got this sort of random bumpy stamp there. So it's just there. And that is just so that if you wanted this grass, you could extend. You can see I've got like little squiggles coming out here, so I've kind of taken that away, but if you wanted to extend it, you've got the little bits and pieces to be able to do that. So this is Treehouse. And then the last one is a bit of a strange mashup. So this is the last one. So this one here, I drew when I was away for my wedding anniversary. That's it. I'm just obsessed with little houses. We were in a fish and chip shop, bizarrely. We were in a fish and chip shop, and I drew this here. And this was based on, at the back wall, they had these sort of like fake vines. So I started off sort of sketching the fake vines, and then because I seem to be obsessed by trees and these little round houses, I filled the space with a little tree. And so I did that. So again, I've kind of separated it. So we've got this bit here, which is this bit there, and then I've got the extra flowers there and there separate. So you can build it up for the swirl like that, but you also have the ability to do it different. Now, I did draw this other one and I don't like it. So this became a bone of contention. I drew this one and I really don't like it. In my head, that was kind of, I don't know, this is meant to be cliffs and I was going to paint water down here and there was going to be lots of green foliage, but when I drew it I didn't like it. But it is my daughter's favourite one, and actually Louise really quite liked it as well. So what I have done, because it's still not my favourite, is I have taken elements of this to build this stamp set. So we have the branch here just on its own, which is kind of like this little bit here. It also means I've got the width right, that if you want to extend the tree, you can give this tree a really, really long branch as well. And also don't forget that your photopolymer stamps have an element of flex to them, so you can sort of create a few more looks. The dangly bits, I think there's not enough movement in these. They're very, yeah, maybe that's what was wrong with it. But anyway, I have created sort of a solid vine there, 2 solid vines, and this one here, and obviously we've got these foliage bits here, so if you wanted to have them dripping from the tree, you can build that bit. And then this little house bit is pretty much this just bit here. I added a little extra round tree into the actual stamp version, and then I've just put a couple of extra flowers. So that is how it all came about. This one says Enchanted Paths and Curious Hearts, and this one says Where Leaves Dance and Stories Breathe. Now I had wanted to show you some of the samples that the girls have made. They are gorgeous. So we've had Kaylee and Jane working on these, but they've not arrived in the post just yet. Sorry if that was really loud in the microphone. They've not arrived in the post just yet, but by the time I go live, because obviously I'm pre-recording this, by the time I go live, which will hopefully just be an hour after this one, then I should have them to be able to share with you. So whilst I was, until I'm obsessed with drawing trees, because I've suddenly drawn more. I keep drawing them, look. Now I want that one as a stamp too. When I was drawing this one here, my husband said to me, because as I said, we were away for our 25th wedding anniversary. I did manage to sneak in a few sketchbook dates, as you can see. But as I was drawing this, he went, oh, what you really need is a frame. And I was like, oh, great idea, but I don't want that as a stamp. I want it as a die. So I quickly drew these. Are you excited? Are you excited about this? So this is my very loose kind of sketch of what I wanted. And those turned out to be this. So I was just like, oh yeah, you could have a round frame that had like leaves and things coming off it. And then I also wanted to build it and for you to be able to use with your stamps as well. And I like to be able to build textures and bits and pieces. So this is the first die set, which, excuse me, I've run out of black card, so I put it on craft so you can see. So we've got this frame here, we've got mushrooms, and we've got some leaves. That's the sort of like little round bit that seems to appear on every single stamp. So we've got that bit there, so it can either be sort of like an unknown fruit or a light of some sort. We've got different bits of greenery, so you can build a wreath and things with that if you wanted. So that is die set number 1, Forest Frame Circle. Now the sketch for the square one was even more dodgy, and it ended up not looking like that at all. It ended up looking like this. So we have a bit of an open frame. Oh, I've just realised I've not added hang on 2 seconds, I've not added the corner piece to this. So we also have a corner piece just there. So we have this gorgeous frame here, and then we've got some creatures. Again, we've got mushrooms. So you've got similar in both die sets, because I appreciate die sets are a bit pricier. So you can choose to have one or the other. Obviously, if you have both, there's lots of things you can create with them. But also I wanted you to have all the elements in both. So in both sections there, we have mushrooms, we have foliage, we have a frame, we have a few bugs, but they're also all different, so they will all blend together. So that is the entire collection. I really hope you love it. Thank you so much for tuning in and seeing what it's like. As I said, lots of videos to follow. We will be going live at 7 o'clock tonight, where we will be playing with these. But as the weeks pass, I have got loads of ideas. I'm just going to lay all of this out here. I have got loads of ideas, so we will definitely be seeing lots more makes and samples with this particular collection. So I hope you love it as much as I do.